Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is May 5th, 2025, and we'll call this meeting in order at 7:31 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin? Here. Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Trustee Navas Barza is absent. Trustee Peretta?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Before we start our regular reports this evening, we do have a bid opening, and on your agendas this evening, what you see is a bid opening regarding new floating docks and insulation. What they're talking about is the village owns a boat launch. I'm sorry, we manage a boat launch that we lease from the Water Reclamation District on the Calsag River, and there was sections on the water that need to be replaced, so that's what we're talking about here.
We actually did not have any bids turned in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I double-checked when I got here, and Brittany said none had been turned in.
Superintendent Frater, do you know how many places we reached out to, or?
I reached out to 3 myself.
Yeah.
It was in the paper and it was
Okay, Mike's not mic'd up, but you said 3 vendors were contacted. Obviously, Mike, let's put that back out then, and let's try and find 3 or 5 more, okay? Thank you. Real quick, Mike, I had a question. I have a proclamation I need to read regarding clerks. Even though it's not on the agenda, can I do a second one?
Yeah, he took this, no
Okay.
explanations.
Just doesn't have it on the agenda.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, first on my report this evening, well, 2 things. First, I'm going to ask the board next week, too, please keep in mind, appreciate all the students being in the audience this evening. Next week is our inauguration night, so with the new board that was elected, we have a couple new trustees that are going to be sworn in. So we'll have my office, the village clerk, and 3 trustees getting sworn in office next week. I'm going to make it a short meeting, but because that takes some time to do. I did invite, we're just going to have 1 presentation next week, and it was from the bike and pedestrian plan that we're engaged in. I think it's good for the community because we have to get that going with downstate yet, too, at the same time. But I only have 1 presentation scheduled for next week. But I'm also going to ask the board if they would support, just for a consensus, if they'd support my application to become a board member of directors with the Illinois Municipal League. I met with a group of mayors last week, and they gave me an application, and they'd like to see me represented on this board, representing the interests of local government and working with our downstate. Not that I have to go downstate. You can do all out. This is all on the phone or Zoom. Currently, right with our downstate legislators is what I want to finish saying. Currently, I do sit on 4 committees with the Illinois Municipal League right now. The first is the Public Work and Transportation Policy. The second is Revenue and Taxation Policy. The third is General Governance Policy. And the last is the Resolutions Policy Committee. So I would ask the board if they would support that application. I have to have it in by the 16th of May. I've got actually 2 proclamations I'd like to read into the record this evening. The first is on your agenda with regard to this is actually known as the 56th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week from May 4th till May 10th, 2025. And again, please understand this is a proclamation, so this is how it's written. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at all other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, whereas the professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in educational programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk, now therefore I, Mayor John Ryan, Mayor of the Village of Alsip, do recognize the week of May 4th through May 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk Renee Harding and to all the professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Dated this 5th day of May, 2025, Mayor Ryan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Renee, congratulations, too. I tell you, just so everybody understands, and again, we YouTube all of our meetings, the cameras on the DS, not you folks, but you guys look great. So we got to keep our professional attitude as we should up front here. But more importantly is the office of the clerk really is a vital tool to every community. It really is. I mean, this is your keeper of records. Anything you need to look at, invest in, you name it, permits, so forth, everything flows through your office and stuff that goes through here and stuff. So thank you for what you do, and it's nice to be recognized, too.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. The second one I had this evening was, this is an annual proclamation that we recognize every year. It was sent to me late last week, but I would like to put this into the record. The Village of Alsip, Illinois, proclamation by my office of the mayor, whereas safety is the highest priority for the highways and streets of our village and state, and whereas the state of Illinois is proud to be a national leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness, and whereas motorcycles are a primary, common, and economical means of transportation that reduces fuel consumption and road wear and contributes in a significant way to the relief of traffic and parking congestion, and whereas it is especially meaningful that the citizens of our village and state be aware of motorcycles on the roadways and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety. And whereas the members of ABATE, that's A-B-A-T-E, of Illinois Incorporated, that stands for a brotherhood aimed toward education, continually promote motorcycle safety, education, and awareness in high school drivers' education programs and to the public in our village and state, presenting motorcycle awareness programs to over 120,000 participants in Illinois over the past 9 years. And whereas all motorcyclists should join ABATE of Illinois in actively promoting the safe operation of motorcycles, as well as promoting motorcycle safety, education, awareness, and respect of the citizens of our village and state. And whereas the motorcyclists of Illinois have contributed extensive volunteerism and money to national and community charitable organizations, and whereas during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in the safe sharing of roadways within the Village of Alsip and throughout the great state of Illinois. Therefore, I, John Ryan, Mayor of the Village of Alsip, in the great state of Illinois, in recognition of 38 years of ABATE of Illinois Incorporated and over 352,813 registered motorcyclists statewide, and in recognition of the continued role Illinois serves as a leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness, I do hereby proclaim the month of May, this year 2025, as Motorcycle Awareness Month in the Village of Alsip, and urge motorists to join to improve safety and awareness on our roadways this 5th day of May 2025. So thank you to them as well, and hopefully the roads will remain safe for the motorcyclists this 2025 year. Next on your agenda this evening was a discussion and request for consensus to have the village attorney draft an ordinance to impose, I'm sorry, you know what? I actually did have that, and right before the meeting, our attorney, Joe Kankar, gave me some legal guidance on this. Mike, I actually don't need an ordinance for this, right? You were
No,
saying-
no,
right.
no. This lien, you're right to lien for like unpaid water bills and scavenger bills, and that's already set up by statute. And the ones you do at administrative adjudication, you can record a memorandum of judgment on that, which operates as the same thing as a lien. So you really don't need to do anything at all.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. We've identified financial, I look at, especially at this time of the year, I'm focused more now than ever when we get our budgets ready for the next fiscal year. And what I did was I spoke to a lot of the, even the other day, we had our monthly staff meeting, and certainly while I'm focused on revenues, we're also looking at our budgets as far as spending is concerned then too at the same time. But on the revenue side, we see a real good gap in collections. We do have a collection agency that works for us, but we don't see enough collection taking place. And while we don't, or can't, I should say, intervene with regard to motor vehicle citations, when it comes to municipal violations that folks might be cited for, we may find it necessary to we are going to find it necessary to look at the lien process on property to try and collect those debts to the village, because we looked at, Chief, I asked you for a report the other day, I think over 5 years it was maybe $1 million, something like
It
that.
was more than two, I believe.
More than two, right. I've got the report, but yeah, I got the notice from Attorney Joe Kankar right before the meeting started. We do have a statute that imposes that. I'm just going to have to put together a protocol on who's going to be doing what and so forth then, too.
There's also a statute for time-barred debts.
Exactly, right. I believe there is a 7-year statute of limitations on collection at the same time, and we've got 90 days even to file said lien when they occur. But I'm going to put together a whole, basically I'm going to put together a protocol on who's going to be doing what with what department and how we're going to expedite those particular liens in order to collect and stuff then too. So, because certainly I don't put that on, certainly Chief Miller, on your office or any other office and stuff then too. This is a unified, obviously, interest that we need to collect on these monies. This is due the village for whatever reasons and stuff, so my office will certainly take the lead on that and get that taken care of. So, that's all I have for my report this evening. We'll go to the clerk's report. Clerk Harding.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the presentation and approval of the March 2025 motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $65,357.55, and then the presentation and approval of the April 28th, 2025 board meeting minutes. And that was all I had, Mayor.
Thank you. We have our attorney's report. We have Mike Kankar with us. Mike?
No report, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we have the engineer's report. Jeff Agan.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a request of approval of a supplemental resolution for improvements under the Illinois Highway Code for the reconstruction of 131st Street from Pulaski Road to Kedzie Avenue in the amount of $170,430. So, Village had received some Rebuild Illinois funds, and they needed to be designated for use by July 1st. So this is just the paperwork, essentially, to allocate those monies. We've already passed resolutions for engineering and for right-of-way, so this uses up the balance to allocate it towards construction.
Jeff, off the top of your head, we're going to have 131st Street completely rebuilt from Kedzie to Pulaski. Ballpark, what's the overall cost of that construction? Do you remember? Was it like $3 million? 3.2?
Yeah, I don't have that off the top of my head.
Higher?
Double check that, yeah.
About
10
$10 million.
million. That's what I'm asking. I didn't have a number in front of me.
Kedzie?
No, 131st.
I know, but Kedzie, we don't go that far.
It's going from Kedzie, right?
Kedzie to Pulaski.
Right, Kedzie to Pulaski. And this is going to include curb and gutter, lighting, and it's going to have off-street bike paths that are going to connect us from Blue Island to bring us somewhat close to our bike path up near the Freedom Park at 131st and Cicero. It's going to be a winding trail that goes through there and so forth, but it's going to be an amazing road once it's done. But this action's been in place since, Mike, 2015, maybe? 14, yeah. And just this, at the end of this year, we're going to finally have our letting for construction next year in '26. That's how close we are to this thing, of a $10 million project taking place. But again, we're not the only municipality in Cook County and state and everything else, so there's a lot of moving functions. So Jeff, thanks for taking a look at this then, too. Thank you. Anything else, Jeff?
We're going to be starting smoke testing later in the month, so we'll provide notifications, and next board meeting I'll have some more specific updates, but we'll be sending letters out and door hangers, putting signs up in intersections. Essentially, we're pumping smoke in the sanitary sewer, and that checks for leaks and inflow and infiltration and whatnot. So we'll be coordinating with police and fire on a daily basis, just because sometimes it can be cause of concern when people see smoke coming out.
We had a situation like that years ago. I remember it was some business that we had instantly. What he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is we do a smoke test. We try to do it every year. What they do is they push smoke through the sanitary sewers, and if there's any kind of crack or leak on a property, you'll see smoke coming through your front lawn to let us know that there's a sanitary leak, so we know where we're going to fix that and stuff then, too. I remember years ago that one of those came up inside of a business, and we there was no communication with dispatch or something like that yet, too, so we'll watch for that.
Yeah, some people have their downspouts connected to the sanitary, which you shouldn't do, but there'll be smoke coming out of the roof from the
gutters.
People,
Yeah.
The house is on fire and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jeff. That it?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we had our public forum. Did anyone in the audience wish to address the board tonight? Nobody? Okay. Students, just so you know, too, when you guys come to meetings, if you ever go to a meeting in the future, you're always welcome to come up to the microphone and express your views on things. This is an open forum to whoever wishes to speak to the board. Next, we have the standing committee reports. We'll start with Finance and IT. Trustee McGlohan.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated May 2nd of 2025, totaling $633,303.76. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated May 5th of 2025. From the recap, General Fund, $300,337.51. Road and Bridge, $13,875.56. Pulaski TIF, $252 even. Water and Sewer, $784,654.66. Sanitary Sewers, $308.47. Heritage Complexes, $22,194.88, for a grand total all funds of $1,121,623.08. And that's all I have under finance this evening, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Clerk Harding, and I apologize, we had so much I'm reading in front of me here. I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate your office at the same time. Your clerks do a great job.
Thank
I
you.
mean, obviously you're sitting here every day, but
They do.
all the young ladies and
They
so
work
forth that
very
work, they
hard
work
and
very
they do.
hard.
Yes.
Brittany, can you hear me in the other room? You like that? So,
She's here for 10 more minutes.
All
I'm
right,
sure she
good.
hears you.
Please share that with everybody in the office,
She's
Brittany.
outside getting the air out of
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So thank you very much, and congratulations to your office again.
Thank
like
you.
that. Next, we had the Fire Committee report. Trustee Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a presentation and approval to pay out a firefighter who has been off on workman's compensation time for 3 floating holidays of 24 hours each at a rate of $41.68 for a total of $3,000.96, and 7 vacation days at 24 hours each at a rate of $41.68 for a total of $7,002.24 for a grand total of $10,003.20. And that's all I have, sir.
Understood. And trustees, just so you understand, or even the students, we have a firefighter that's been off work on an on-the-job injury, and this is time they couldn't use because they've been off, so this is why we pay them. We work off a fiscal year, so at the end of May 1 is why we honor a situation like this. Thank you.
Under that, Mayor, can we just make sure that the Finance Department verifies the rates and the amounts?
I did, and she did confirm, yes.
Okay, because I said there's nothing in the packet.
Oh, sorry about, no, I did, I actually, last Friday, I spoke with payroll, and she said these numbers are accurate.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we have the Police and Traffic Safety Report. Trustee Dozal?
Nothing for this evening's meeting. Okay. Chief, anything?
Chief?
I have a quick letter to read real fast. The Lexipol Connect program recently bestowed a significant honor upon the Alsip Police Department. We achieved the gold level for our exceptional performance in consistently and effectively disseminating policies to officers, issuing timely policy updates as laws change, and ensuring officers are trained on the policies. This recognition is a testament to our commitment to excellence and ability to adapt to evolving circumstances. Policy and regular training on policy is not just a requirement, but a cornerstone of our department's commitment to professionalism and safety. We are proud to be recognized by Lexipol Connect for our unwavering dedication to continuously improving these aspects within our department. LCPD's policy and training excellence enhance community safety by ensuring consistent, effective responses based upon national best practices. And they just sent us a plaque last week, so thanks.
That's congratulations, Chief.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all.
Chief, did you want to promote Cop on the Roof in a couple of weeks?
Sure, except I don't know the exact
I
date.
think it's the 16th.
The 16th, yes. We'll be out there at the Cicero location and the 127th and Costner location, Dunkin' Donuts.
Exactly. So we'll be at the Dunkin' Donuts, 122nd and Cicero, and over the top of the Dunkin' Donuts at the Gas and Wash on 127th and Costner. Okay.
Now, do you buy a donut for a cop? Is that how that works? Or, I don't know.
Well, you can. I'm sure they'll take it, but all donations go to Special Olympics.
Right.
Very good.
Thank you. Next, we have the Public Work and Boat Launch Committee.
Nothing for this evening, sir.
Okay. Thank you. By the way, the board did approve, and Mike did take receivership of a new Bobcat skid steer. That's pretty impressive. And it's the first one the village has ever bought with some AC in there too, Mike. I saw the door on the front of that thing and stuff yet too. So good to have. But I was really excited to see. Seriously, and did you have one? Did you have a jackhammer already on the front of that thing? No. That was impressive. That's a big jackhammer on the front of that Bobcat yet too. So obviously we can do a little more work with that thing and stuff then too. Yeah. Sounds great. Thanks. Next, we had the Sewer and Water Report Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a presentation and approval of the Brycer April 2025 monthly activity report. And second, I have a request for approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 9, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 3, Fire Prevention, by adding Section 9-51, Fire Suppression Flow Testing Bypass Meters to the municipal code of the Village of Alsip. And that's all I have, Mayor.
So again, just a quick explanation for the students in the room and the public watching. It came to our attention here in 2025. Many of the commercial businesses that annually have their fire suppression system tested, in other words, their water tested, a lot of buildings that are so big they've actually got hydrants connected to their building. We did identify the fact that they were not paying for the water loss for the 20-minute test taking place. So what we're going to ask businesses to do is install a bypass meter for those particular tests so they can only pay for the water that they lose, because essentially some buildings over a 20-minute test you could see almost 50,000 gallons of water literally going down the drain with the village picking up the tab for that. So we're going to ask that businesses have these meters installed if they don't have one already, and we're going to give like a 1-year compliance to get that done yet too. So it's something fair. And again, it's only fair to everybody involved for those particular tests. Next, we've got the Building and Health Report. Trustee Peretta?
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
First, I have a presentation and approval of the April 2025 Building Department Monthly Activity Report. There was a little typo there, it said 2024. In that month of April, there were 133 permits issued, and the amount collected, including inspector fees, was $39,602, and the estimated cost of construction is valued at $2,962,654. And finally, I have a presentation and approval to post internally in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement for a period of 1 week, followed by external posting to fill an upcoming vacancy in the building department due to a pending retirement. And that's all I have, Mayor.
So, trustees, I did speak with Attorney Mike Kankar before the meeting, and long story short, we've got 2 employees, clerical employees, in the building department. One is scheduled for a retirement mid-July, and another will be going on maternity leave for about 12 weeks. So what we want to do is bring in somebody before that to help cross-train them for these duties in clerical in the building department, just on a temporary basis, and that's all this is. Okay. So we're going to advertise internally in case anybody wants to make a change in their current position. Should they not wish to do so, that goes on for a week. We'll advertise it outside, for a temporary fill until this person retires mid-July.
So we're not hiring a permanent replacement at this point in time?
They'll be filling the person who's going to retire.
Okay, but I'm just the way you said temporary, it's like this, we're adding additional staff
Yes.
between now and July,
Right.
at which point in time then this will become the position that fills
Exactly,
the
because
retiree.
they're both people are from the same department, and I won't have anybody in the building department.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get it. It's just what you said, temporary. I'm like, what, we're not going to bring anybody in and send them
No,
away?
it's for cross-training purposes, yes.
Yeah, so temporary overage in the department.
Yes. And Trustee Peretta, anything else?
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Next, Human Resource and Insurance, Trustee Murphy.
No report tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Special committee reports, we'll start with Economic Development Committee.
No report this evening, Mayor.
All right. Next, we have Village Properties, Trustee McGlohorn.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval to post in-house for a week and then to post externally, if no one applies, to fill a vacant maintenance position due to a transfer by an employee to another department. Next, I have a request for approval of the April 2025 Heritage Monthly Activity Report. Within that report, we have 1 vacancy available for rent at Heritage 1 as of the end of April, and we have 3 available for rent at Heritage 2. And there are currently 3 remodels in process at Heritage 1 and 4 in process at Heritage 2. And then item number 3 on the agenda, we just need to remove, that's a duplication.
Okay. Thank you. So again, we're going to be looking to hire somebody for roughly 4 hours, Monday through Friday, as a maintenance, part-time maintenance position here at the Village Hall. They work from 6 in the morning till 10 in the morning, Raj, right? And then at the Heritage Apartments, the Village of Alsip owns 2, if you're not familiar with the term heritage, we own 29 buildings, and these are for 55 and older residents, and 512 apartments. They only have 4 vacancies. That's pretty darn good, Raj. So it's good to see we're full. Yeah. So thank you. Next, we have the Ordinance and Legislation Report. Trustee Peretta.
No agenda this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. We'll go to Planning and Zoning and Licenses Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a discussion and approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip granting a special use to I-3, special use authorizing the repair and storage of trucks and trailers on the property located at 130005 South Hamlin Court in Alsip, Illinois. And then next, I have a request for approval of a list of licenses in review from April 11th of 2025 through May 2nd of 2025. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Gentlemen, I saw you sitting here, and were you here for this for this matter on Hamlin Street? Was that you folks? You know, can I ask you maybe come up to the mic and just give us a quick scenario, like what you're going to do there? We hadn't had a chance to meet you before, so I put down for a presentation and approval of.
I'm Bill Zaleski with Advantage Consulting Engineers, Lamont, Illinois, representing Thomas Gentilla, who's looking to purchase the property. I believe it's Cook County surplus property, and one of the contingencies was they wanted us to get approval with Alsip prior to doing phase one on the property to make sure that what was going to be allowed by Alsip before we went and purchased the property. So
Okay.
currently it's going to be for, the intent is to have truck parking, truck maintenance, offices for a small trucking firm. And it's pretty much just for a small trucking firm to operate out of there. It's a small fleet.
Right. And so the public understands, because, again, Bill, we record all these meetings, 13005 has basically been a vacant piece of land for some time, right, Reg? Over 20 years. It's in a perfect location for what you're going to do, because it's been vacant. It does need a lot of work regarding improvement as far as that's concerned, but this is in a perfect spot, too, because this is off 131st Street that we just talked about. This is a designated truck route down 131st Street, so it's a good place to put this type of business. And again, you're sandwiched next to some really popular businesses with Quality Snack Foods, the Flour Distribution Company on to the south, as well as Beanbowl Bakeries is down the street then, too. So
Yes.
great location to see over there at the same time. And again, that's to see that property get improved really be a wonderful thing to see and stuff yet, too. Roger, can I ask you to get on the mic? Roger Early is our building commissioner. Raj, do you have any comments or input on this particular property as far as what Bill's asking about?
Like I said earlier, the property's roughly, it's been vacant for over 20 years. There was an NFR on the building itself. What they're going to need to do is do a phase one study to see what kind of contamination is there, what kind of remediation they're going to have to do. Like you said, it would be a good fit, and they are amicable about doing and meeting the requirements that are set forth through the Planning and Zoning Commission.
So our initial report, like you said, an NFR is a no further remediation. So
That is correct.
we consider it, with our reports, to be clean. But as you said, Bill, as an engineer, you have to get into soil samples and everything else to confirm all that before you take any further action. So you just want to get support of the village to see if this is a good fit for you folks, and that's what we're voting on this evening.
That's correct.
Just so we're all on the same page, the building had an NFR. They took the insulation out and stuff like that, but the land itself does not have an NFR.
Understood. Okay, very good. That's why the additional coverage.
Correct.
Okay. Or obviously engineering in this case and stuff then, too. Trustees, any questions? None? Thank you for being with us. We'll take a vote on this in a few minutes then, too, okay? Yeah, if you could just sign in and let us know who we spoke with this evening. Thank you. Thanks, Raj. Okay, anything else, Trustee Peretta?
No, that'll do it, Mayor.
Okay. Trustees, anybody have any presentations, petitions, or communications they want to share? I had just a couple. Last time you're going to hear me promoting this, but this coming Thursday, this coming Thursday, May 8th, will be the grand opening of the Burrito Jalisco Market that we approved some time ago. I stuck my head in the door there tonight. It looks great. It looks really nice what they did there at 119th and Cicero. Basically what it is a small market adjacent to the Burrito Jalisco restaurant. It's got some great food and so forth over there, but to complement everything they do, that's where if you're doing takeouts and so forth, that's the pickup area. It's like a store in there, and they do have a small coolers for beer, wine, and then they sell things to complement your Mexican-themed party, like piñatas and whatnot, and it's a really nice-looking store. It really looks great. It looks very professional when you see this. It looks good. But they're going to have a grand opening there if anybody's available, 3 p.m. Thursday on the 8th. They're going to have their grand opening. Next, May 9th, 10th, and 11th, next weekend, is our village-wide garage sale, so we don't require any permits. Anybody can utilize their driveways and garage for selling things at their home. May 9th and 10th, in other words, Friday and Saturday next week, we'll have our Village Flower Sale. My assistant, Becky Smith, is coordinating that effort, and you can buy flowers here at the Village Hall at a well-priced cost on those. And then finally is next Saturday is our village-wide cleanup day from 9 in the morning until noon. If you'd like to come out and help us clean up the village, you're certainly welcome to join us. It's always a good experience, and even especially with the students in the room, I'd like to always share, I've been doing this for 8 years, and I mean it, every year something different. And sometimes, you know, I still keep a dirty $20 bill in my car that I found out picking up garbage for everybody. There's money out there too, folks. Money don't fall up, you know, it's on the ground. So anybody wants to come out and help us clean up garbage this coming Saturday, please, I'll be here. And we got a nice donation. We'll get everybody started up with a giant donut from Stan's Donuts, are manufactured here in Alsip. So Stan donated donuts to get us going and stuff. Or something to slow you down, one of the two, however you're looking at it, you know. So,
Good.
trustees, did anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda? Hearing none, can I get a motion then to establish the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda, trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGlaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navasparza is absent. Trustee Preda.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Thank you. Can I get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Let's see here. Item C, approval of the supplemental resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code for reconstruction of the 131st Street from Pulaski Road to Kedzie Avenue in the amount of $170,430. Will now be known as Resolution 2025-05-R-1. Item G, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 9 Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 3 Fire Prevention by adding Section 9-51 Fire Suppression, Flow Testing, Bypass Meters to the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-05-1. And item J, approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip granting a special use to I-3 special use, authorizing the repair and storage of trucks and trailers on the property located at 13005 South Hamlin Court in Alsip, Illinois, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-05-2. Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda, trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGlaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navasparza is absent. Trustee Preda.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Thank you very much. Did anybody have any unfinished business they want to discuss? None? Any new business? I need to ask that we adjourn to a closed session following this meeting to discuss minutes of meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meeting Act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by Section 2.6 pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2, Chapter 21. Can I get a motion and a second to take such action?
Motion to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
Roll call number 3 to adjourn to closed session. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGlaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navasparza is absent. Trustee Preda.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn to closed session.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to, after this meeting is going to commence now, and we're going to go into a closed session where only the trustees will participate in this particular meeting. But we do have students in the room. If you folks need signatures or pictures or anything like that for your teachers, come on up, and we'll start this meeting in about 5 minutes. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Time now is 8:11 p.m.